these shows, we just record them and then we release them.
That's it. Catch and release.
I mean, they're listening to it right now and they're like, this must be how the show is. It's just three guys sitting in a room and you guys are having a good conversation. Let me just put the microphone in front of you. Have you guys ever heard that? Have you heard this?
Ed, that's all I hear. It's a lie.
Oh my God. It's like, it's such a good conversation. We'll put the microphone in front of us and we'll just talk. Why? You think people want to hear what you have to say? On this episode of the Culture Cast, I want to know what Mike White has to say because I already know what Father Malone has to say. Mike White at the projection booth, Father Malone of various projects, many of them dark in destinations unknown. Yeah, see, there you go. But on this episode, yeah, you're welcome. On this episode of the Culture Cast, we're talking about a movie that I hadn't seen, which is perfectly fine, but it's more shocking when we have Mike White on this show talking about a movie that he's never seen. And it's not, Little Nicky or some piece of shit movie either. Not saying Little Nicky's a piece of shit movie, but perceptively piece of shit movie.
Comparatively.
Mm-hmm.
I like Little Nicky just fine. Yeah,
this is more of a prestige.
It doesn't use Kate Bush running up that hill as well. You're right, but
it's practically the same movie.
Ultimately, you got the Rhys Ifans character, that movie, the John Glover character, and it's pretty much the same movie. Mm-hmm. But on this episode of the Culture Cast, we're still watching prep school movies. And like I mentioned, I had never seen this film. Mike White had never seen this film, but Father Malone sure had. We're going to be talking about 1988's The Chocolate War.
You know what, Archie? What? Life is sad sometimes.
2 more names.
Your name is Roland Goobert.
Tell me why you're here! For an assignment.
Who the hell do they think I am?
I'm in charge here now. The entire school is my responsibility. Don't ever forget that. If the sale goes down the drain, you and the Vigils go down the drain.
One more name. The kid who just left the field. When they wiped out.
Kid named Renault. Freshman. His mother just died.
Poor kid. That must be hard. You know what he needs?
What?
Therapy. You can't make your life very bad. Very sad.
Father.
It's your mother, Jerry. She's proud of you. Put him down for the chocolates.
This is more than a sale. It is a crusade.
I'm not going to sell the chocolates.
The boys have become infected. A terrible disease, difficult to cure.
Yeah, you're missing a lot of things, Jerry.
I'm just asking you to take the chocolates and sell them.
We're not asking Archie. We're telling.
Why keep them calm?
Cut out magazines, remind me. I sit and wait alone.
Thy will be done.
In my room.
So the film is directed and written by Keith Gordon, based on the book of the same title by Robert Cormier, and it stars John Glover, Ilan Mitchell-Smith, Wally Ward, and boy, Doug Hutchison's in this movie.
And Adam Baldwin.
Baldwin looking like an adult.
Yeah, I will say this. At least the scumbag human beings are playing scumbag human beings, and I don't have to take myself out of the viewing at all.
That's fair. So, Father Malone, you'll have to wait for your name to be called to give your opinion about this movie. We'll ask you about the chocolates in a moment. But Mike White.
Chris, I was actually going to suggest this because I'm going to ramble.
He was born a rambling man, folks. But Mike White, you had never seen this film before, which is an anomaly for my show when we have you on.
Well, especially because it's a Keith Gordon movie, It's
a good movie. Like, it's a movie that's like people will go to bat for, Father Malone included.
Yeah, I found there was way too much chocolate and not nearly enough war.
Didn't live 1 star out of 5.
Yes.
Not
no
enough chocolate.
blood was shed. Yes.
Yeah.
Other than Wally Langham's teeth flying out of his mouth, I suppose. But this was Keith's directorial debut, and I thought that he did a great job with it. This was a book that a lot of people in my high school would read. I don't know if it's still the thing that you read this in high school. I think because it's a short book, if memory serves.
It is very much a short book, Mr. Mike White. It's about this. It's about that short.
Yeah. So pretty short. I don't know if I liked it or not. I liked several things about it. I liked especially when Keith was doing more of the directorial touches, like the shots against like the full color background, the whole thing with the people talking with other people's voices, or the dream sequence type of stuff. That I really enjoyed. Really enjoyed seeing these actors. I mean, fucking John Glover. I love the guy. And to see him be able to just chew up that scenery, go for it, John. You are doing a great job. I always love to see when he gets nuts.
So Father Malone, like I said, we'll give you the last opportunity, given that you kind of already said last week that this is clearly going to be your favorite movie of the month. I'm with Mike. This movie I enjoyed this movie, but I think there were some things in this movie that just like, not that I have an issue with. It's just, it felt a little long in the tooth. It drug in a couple spots. Some of the characters, I think there are too many characters almost in this movie, and it's, not enough butter spread on too much bread type situation. It's just the story's a little thin. I mean, we've mentioned already how short the actual book is. So again, but there are plenty of characters in this movie and there are plenty of actors in this movie, but there's also a love interest, sort of. Like there's this weird, there's this kind of this, again, I don't know, we'll talk about it, but Father Malone, I cede the floor to you, sir.
You're both wrong. This is a great movie.
Hey. Okay. That's fine.
Okay, let me explain to you how I came to the movie. I'll try and keep it brief because I know I've been sort of autobiographicalizing myself with each of the choices we've made, and I love all of these movies in personal ways, but I like them all as movies in general. This is the one that I've suggested for the month that if I had zero personal connection to the film, I would still recommend it out of hand, and I think I would still relate to it because for me, when I saw the movie for the first time, it was, I think, like people when they first saw Taxi Driver, that kind of sort of reaction, that the sort of rope being thrown to you, that, a tether that there's other people out there going through exactly what you're going through. Because not many movies about high school were dealing with melancholy. We were in a wash of teen comedies, both sort of lowbrow and what pretended to be higher brow in the John Hughes films. But they were all very, very sanitized and fun. And we weren't really getting that. In 1988, I was 15. I was a sophomore at a all-boys Catholic prep school. Jerry Renault is
now
15.
Do you see, Mike White? Do you understand now?
Yes.
The cat's out of thy bag, sir.
Jerry Renault, our lead character, is a 15-year-old all-boys prep school who has lost a parent recently, as I had. I'm not saying that everything was a mirror of my life. My home life wasn't the same, but nobody forced me to sell chocolates. Although in previous grades, I was forced to sell things. We'll talk about that later. Anyway,
I can't wait.
So that's where I came to this movie. So I had already been through a year of alienated nightmare prep school experience when this movie debuted. So that's how I came to the movie. But interestingly, about 5 years after that, a good friend of mine named C.M. Talkington made a movie called Love in a 45. And his DP on that film is a fellow by the name of Tom Richmond. And as it turned out, Tom Richmond is the DP on this particular film. And I became friends with Tom Richmond after this. Tom passed away recently, and I just want to say a few words about him because he was one of the kindest, most interesting, sort of forward-thinking, generous human beings I've ever met in my life. This is a man who not only helped sort of forge some of the images that helped get me through adolescence, but then would, like, every time I saw him, would put a mixtape in my hand of like the coolest shit going on. I was 19 and he was in his 40s and he was hearing the coolest bands underground that I would have no access to. So there's that aspect of this movie that I like a lot too, that about Tom. And I just wanted to say, because he did pass away recently, that this is one of many, many movies he did. He never chose a movie for money. He always chose it because he thought the story was interesting. If someone were to say to him, like, when they were talking about the movie, if they had seen it, and they would say like, oh yeah, the photography, it looked really beautiful, and that's all they would say. He would say, well, that's a failure because I didn't come to this movie for the photography. I came because I thought it was an interesting story, and he chose all of his movies that way. And I don't know, I'm rambling now, but anyway, I love you, Tom, and I miss you. So And I got to speak to Keith Gordon very briefly one time in person, and the conversation was strictly about Tom because we both loved him so. So anyway, so that's where I come to on two ends of this movie, but I think it's a really good movie otherwise, and I think we should kind of dive into that. And now that you've got my personal aspect of it, we can sort of dispense with that.
Living in Father Malone's life for an hour and 45 minutes.
Basically. Yeah. Tonally and sort of where my head was at, I related to this movie in a grand way. Mm-hmm. And I've watched it a lot, and I watched it again twice this week, sort of in preparation for this. And sort of, as I said at the top, without my experience, I still think it's a great movie. The fact that it's a debut movie is also spectacular. And, Keith Gordon went on to bigger and better things, I think. But like, what an auspicious debut feature. And as I said, sort of, again, divorced of me, like, the fact that this came out in the middle of what all we were getting was 16 Candles and fucking Breakfast Club and all this nonsense, this sort of adult voices coming out of children's mouths. This spoke to me in a way that it's kind of hard to describe.
What's interesting, I don't know the lead from anything other than Weird Science. So I was very surprised to see him when he showed up in here.
Right. And what a thing to see sort of at the time, having only known him as Weird Science and very prevalent Weird Science. It was on cable all the time. And then here's this other vision of him. It's like seeing Mark Hamill in The Big Red One, like, wait, I don't understand what's going on.
But he's really good. I mean, what's weird is obviously his character in the movie is the main character. He's the main character in the book too, but his character is different in the book than in the movie, because it feels like a cipher in the movie. I mean, we're given a lot of internal, like you mentioned, Mike, the internal kind of shots of what's going on inside of his head, where he's seeing all the people in his life with different voices. But he has shockingly little dialogue in this movie. I think he probably has 30 lines, if that. And yet the performance doesn't feel the way a lot of those performances do feel, where it's like a put on. I don't know, Ilan Mitchell-Smith, like you mentioned, Mike, all I know him from is Weird Science. So to see him in this is just like, what a complete 180. Like, not that this character doesn't have any charisma, but that's not the point of the character.
Well, and he's not a whiny little bitch like he is in Weird Science.
Also that.
Yeah. I mean, that movie's tough to like when you dislike the main protagonist so much.
He's not supposed to have charisma in this movie, but he kind of does in not being that character from Weird Science. Like, I don't know. I don't know how else to explain it. And the fact that Doug Hutchison's 27 years old when they're making this movie, also shocking.
Yeah.
Oh, I had no idea. I thought he was like the youngest in the cast. That's insane.
He presents very young. I was just so tickled to see Wally Langham credited for whatever reason as Wally Ward, because I'm a huge CSI fan. And so it was just like, oh my God, it's David. What's he doing here? Because he's such a dick in CSI, and then just to see him here as a dick again, and he plays a dick so well.
He's the William Atherton of our generation.
He is, yeah.
And I don't know what it is. I think it's his look that helps. Just something about his like sullen eyes. Yeah, and the fucking
hair,
swoopy hair. That you just, the moment you see him, you're like, this fucking guy. Like, even if I didn't know him exactly in high school, I knew people like him in high school. And
it's
like
psychopaths. Because Archie is a psychopath, right?
He totally is. Yeah.
Yeah. Like a little Hannibal Lecter in the making, like without the fun parts of Hannibal Lecter. Like just the sociopathic parts.
A broken, sort of ruined human, like meting out these punishments on these kids to the point where, like, like Obi, who seems like a more despicable character in Archie in some ways.
I mean, like, by the end of the movie, I think that's more or less confirmed. Get some pictures of your little sister naked. What? Doug Hutchison, to stop projecting.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I mean,
man.
It's low hanging fruit. It's low hanging fruit. But Doug Hutchison.
But my point is that, like, we get a moment where Archie is contemplating the fact that Jerry Renault's mother has died recently, and he's out there getting his ass kicked on the football field, and like vocalizes how horrible it is, and then it's like, yeah, now let's fuck with him.
He needs some therapy.
Oh, he needs some and he thinks he's doing good. It's like, it's so
yeah.
And it's not even like misguided. It's like intentionally just despicable. He's not like, oh, we're gonna this will help him. It's like, no. Like we're gonna pile on.
Yeah.
And it'll be funny when we do it. Like, haha.
And it seems like he's doing it in the name of this group, right? They're the Vigils are forcing him to do this. But he starts doing it to them too. He does it to everybody. He's just like this chaotic element amidst this like crushing environment, making it worse.
It took so long for me to know what the vigils were because they kept saying blah, blah, blah vigils. And I'm like, what, prayer vigils? Like, is this a Catholic school? Are they praying all the time? Is this like Vespers? Like I think I was honestly 15 minutes from the end of the movie before I figured out what the vigils were.
Oh, just a secret society.
Yeah, that's all. So, but I mean, they felt like a fraternity. So I just thought they were very open about that. I didn't realize they were being secretive about this society.
Well, they're not super secret because like people know who they are.
Right. Everyone knows who they are.
Right. They're like an open secret.
But to Mike's point, the sort of fraternity aspect of it, I'm sure was hammered home by Adam Baldwin's involvement because he's clearly 27.
Adam Baldwin is like an adult in this movie.
Yeah. And it's
right. Like
he's been an adult forever. Like even when he was in My Bodyguard, the guy was totally an adult.
Absolutely. The thing is, in rewatching it, I was sort of considering that. And I think the idea is that because like Wallace Langham, is probably 20 years old here. And Ilan Mitchell-Smith is 18 probably. And like
Adam Baldwin is 26.
Okay,
wow.
So
he's like the second oldest dude on the cast, probably of the teenagers.
Maybe to trick our eye, because Ilan Mitchell-Smith is supposed to be a freshman, and he's clearly like 18 years old. Like just having the staggered out ages like that sort of sets it at right, but ultimately we end up watching adults,
right?
And it's unfortunate.
Yeah,
he had already been animal mother by this point.
Yeah, exactly. You can't go to Vietnam and then come back to the prep school, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, My Bodyguard was 8 years before this, so
yes, and he seemed old then.
Exactly.
Yeah, I will say, as much as I enjoyed the movie, that took me out of it because it was like it's the Disney problem.
Yeah.
What's funny is like Zac Efron, when he was doing this same thing, he looked like a teenager, but like Adam Baldwin, like he never looked like a teenager.
No,
I thought Adam Baldwin looks the same. I've met him in person, and he is taller than you, Father Malone, by like a foot. It feels like.
Wow.
Oh,
That's can't really be the case. But I remember when I met him, it was me and a friend of mine. And he goes, come here, guys. And it's like, oh dear. Like the picture is just like this Hulk of a man with two people in front of him. And that was like 10 years ago. So it's like this. I'm sorry, but Adam Baldwin is the last person you should be casting in a movie about teenagers of any age. Same kind of with Doug, but like Doug Hutchison looks it. I mean, but Doug Hutchison's kind of a squirrely looking guy.
Right.
He certainly is. And what a shame. I was a big fan of his for a long, long time, starting with this movie, The X-Files, and then Millennium in particular. He's in one episode of Millennium, and he's fucking awesome in it. And then he just went off the rails. What a prick.
It's unfortunate. Yeah, because from The X-Files, that Toombs episode is like still.
Man, oh man, that Doug Double, he came back. It was
such a good villain. They had him on twice. Like, tell me another episode of the show that was like that. Oh wait, other than the aliens, nothing. Yeah. He's great in this movie. I honestly wanted more of his character than kind of anybody else. Because he's so interestingly weird and kind of just like
he's not just some like toady character. Like,
no,
he actually believes in the Vigils. He believes in this organization and making sure that they stay in power. And even though he clearly hates Archie, I mean, my favorite moment with this character Obi is when if you haven't seen the movie, this character, Archie, assigns these punishments to these students, and they have to carry it out under the threat of this secret organization, the Vigils. But when he assigns them, they make him reach into a black box that's filled with marbles. It's like 5 white marbles and 1 black one. If he pulls out the black one, then he has to do the assignment. When he reaches in to get the marble and takes it out and shows that it's white, the look of disappointment on Obi's face is priceless. He's just, like, he does that every time. They're all hoping, oh, please get that black one, you motherfucker. We want to see you go.
And that's crazy to me that in the book, that's not part of it. That's not part of the finale of the movie is the better finale.
Way better.
Bro,
like 1,000 times better.
The book's finale is like the book's finale is not great. And it really hinges on the incorporation of the marbles, because at the end of the book, the character of Archie doesn't get the marbles. So it's just what you are expecting to happen. He fights that kid. Yeah, he fights the dickhead kid with all the little kids. He fights him in the book. He doesn't fight Archie, which feels like such a weird non-payoff, but it starts with this whole marble thing, which, I mean, I like watching the movie. I had forgotten about the marble thing, which I think was such a smart thing by Keith Gordon. I had forgotten because it was introduced so early, and like you see it one time and that's it. You see it once at the beginning, once at the end, and it's like the setup and the payoff. Looking at you, Richard Haddam. He always talks about it. I mean, it was perfect. I was like, oh shit. The marble, of course. And then you got to draw twice, son of a bitch.
This is one of the rare occasions, I think, when the adaptation of the book of the film surpasses the book, like overall. What you were saying at the top, Chris, about the Renault character, like they strip a lot of his character away. A lot of his dialogue goes away, but more importantly, a lot of his inner monologue goes away, and those are sort of put together in the dream sequences, like, instead of paragraph after paragraph of his inner thoughts, that's sort of personified in the dreams. So I think that was like a deft thing that Keith Gordon did. I don't think it detracts from the character, because I do think the casting of Ilan Mitchell-Smith sort of makes up for that. And the hints of those things come through from the dreams. So I just wanted to sort of answer to that, because you had said sort of earlier about that.
But but the problem is, I think that the movie actually could have used narration. Like, I don't know why.
I think it works sparingly. I don't know, like the sparseness of it.
It's a nihilism thing. Like, it feels more nihilistic to not know what's going on in his head.
Right.
And it's just like he's just downhilling the melancholy as hard as he can, and the anguish, and we don't know what's going on inside of his head. I appreciate that from a storytelling standpoint, but there is part of me that's like, I know the way the book did it, and the book did it with an interior monologue, which I'm not a fan of. Like, I like it in plenty of other source materials that have been adapted into shows that keep it. So
the thing is, I think the book, it is sort of more richly fleshed out, but it's way more nihilistic than this movie.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Like it starts out happily and sort of crescendos into despair, whereas this movie maintains a level of melancholy and sort of panic that sort of only escalates. And even at the end, when he realizes that it's all for naught, at the end of the book, it's still way more hopeful than, I mean, in the movie, it's more hopeful than in the book. You know what I mean?
Oh, I agree. I mean, at the end of the book, the Ilan Mitchell-Smith character is not in a good spot. I mean, he's not in a good spot here either, but it's different.
The lights go out and Jansen like beats the shit out of him, and they take him away on a stretcher. Like, his jaw is definitely broken, and that's the last we see of him. And then they cut to like Archie being let off the hook by Brother Leon, who is now the acting headmaster, and it's all going to continue just as is.
Right.
At least here we get some sort of like, it is an oppressive world, but like there's some hope, a little bit of hope. At least Archie's getting something, and Ilan Mitchell-Smith isn't getting his head kicked in. Like, he'll survive. I don't know.
I mean, I agree with you. Thinking about, I mean, again, because it comes back to the usage of the marbles and changing the ending to meter out that punishment against Wallace Langham's character. And I think in a lot of ways, the smartest thing that Keith Gordon did was, instead of making the movie Ilan Mitchell-Smith's movie, it's really about the Archie character. It's like the book is more the Renault character. The movie is more the Archie character. I wouldn't say that Ian Mitchell-Smith couldn't stand up to Wally Langham's ability to act, but they definitely hitched their wagon to the right cart with the movie.
I totally agree. I think one reason too why I was a little disappointed in this movie is I read the opening credits and it said special appearance by Bud Cort, and I'm just like waiting the entire time. He shows up, I have a wonderful time, he goes away, and I'm just like, wait, where's Bud Cort? When's he coming back? I want to see him.
They never should have advertised at the beginning, goddamn them.
Never came back. Yeah.
That special appearance was a appearance of the special variety.
Just one scene. That's it. See him.
In and out.
What a good scene.
Did his thing.
It's
Ned
a great
Beatty
scene.
and Networth.
Yes. Oh, yes. Yes.
It's a good scene, but it played for comedic value.
At first, I thought he was playing Ilan Mitchell-Smith's father. And then I was no, that's not him. That's Bud Cort.
It very well could have been
10 years past. Right? Yeah, exactly.
That's interesting. I hadn't thought of that.
That's what I thought too.
Yes.
I was like, is this Bud Cort? It was like, no, it's just another guy with like immense facial hair, beard, and mustache.
Exactly.
You know what? I love that scene. It is just sort of there comedically like played for laughs, which it excels at thanks to Bud Cort's performance. Him like sort of sussing out what the word is.
Yes.
And then figuring it out. That's great. But I think the scene is also great because that illustrates Archie, the total chaos that he's brought to this school, because he's fucking with the Vigils here. Like they thought they were going to have a good joke on the brother, and he tipped the brother off just so that they would end up exhausted and the brother would be laughing at them.
I loved it. That whole thing was great. Yeah, the way that we're setting it up and paying it off, to your point, Chris. So good.
I mean, again, Keith Gordon, massive amount of respect to him for the ability to not only direct this movie competently, but to rewrite the source material in like a way that works better. Like, again, I'm not going to sit here and say Keith Gordon's a better writer than Robert Cormier, but when he's taking the base material and doing something more with it, I don't remember, is that scene that's the Bud Cort brother Jacques scene is not in the book, right?
It isn't like that. It's sort of mentioned.
Right.
This did
but
occur,
we never see it.
No, and it's like it was supposed to be a period over a week that they had been doing it, and he for a while couldn't figure out what it was, and then Archie tips them off. So he condensed it into this one brief moment, which ends perfectly with Archie sort of shrugging, like, "What, me? What are you gonna do?
Yeah,
I've got all the power, suckers.
I didn't do anything. I think Wally Langham is obviously, other than John Glover, who I think we'll talk about in a moment, but. Yeah. Putting Wally Langham as the lead, I think, was really smart. Because, again, I think this is really his movie. And Ian Mitchell-Smith is not bad. He's just his character in the book, because he has that interior monologue, he is the main character. But now, like, because you don't want to do it, you don't have it. I think, I don't know. I think Archie's a more interesting character anyways. Obviously, as someone who's interested in true crime and things of that sort, this guy's probably got a freezer full of heads now, realistically. You know what I mean? Like either that or he's like a Fortune 500 CEO, which is,
right. That's what he is.
Or both. Why not both?
Yeah,
Could be both.
Yeah, of course. Reminds me of Dexter, which was predominantly directed by Keith Gordon.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair. Yeah. But, the real scumbag of the movie, just John Glover, man.
Mm-hmm.
Good God in heaven.
Oh, and this feels so familiar to me. Just his whole financial schemes and all of this stuff, how he's just lording the power over the kids. I mean, Father Malone, you mentioned the whole thing of like having to sell in school, and it just always felt like, who's really making this money? Is this really going towards new band uniforms or what? So that this kind of pulls back the curtain and shows that all the dirty little secrets about gouging the prices, failing this initiative that he's doing. I just loved it.
I love how it's like, these are Mother's Day chocolates. We'll just take the purple band off.
Can I just say, for the first time, I've been watching this movie for 35 years. And today it occurred to me that 6 months ago was Mother's Day. That's when they're buying the chocolates from. And 6 months ago, Jerry Renault's mother died. It makes it all the more horrible. And it makes his stand all the more powerful.
Well, and that's the thing about the movie that like feels like it kind of gets lost, and like Keith Gordon could have done a little bit just like one line of dialogue or like just something to further drive that point home. Because that's my interpretation of what's going on, is that he might not be taking, he was initially, the Vigils were like, don't say yes for 10 days. Wow. But then once he takes a stand past it, it's like, I wish that there had been something about like his mom, like, and Mother's Day. And like, that's the whole thing. Cause it is kind of like not a throwaway line, but
yeah. The thing is, the book is a little more expletive in that he doesn't know why. So it's every chapter of him like going, why am I even doing any of this? Right. And the book sort of like hits you a little bit over on the head with there's a quote that he has in his locker that's from Proof Rock, dare you disturb your own world, something like that, which I'm glad Keith Gordon sort of excised here. I don't know.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, that whole, the thing with the mom showing up feels like it. I mean, it feels like that reinforcement of the idea of like, somehow not selling chocolates has to do with the love of your mother.
Yeah. I mean, we don't get the reason, but I will say that the dream sequences are Jerry Renault trying to work this problem out.
Sure.
And very cleverly, it's the same couple of images that we've gotten from the movie, like the same sort of scenarios with different characters now playing different parts. But the primary image that sort of threads throughout the whole thing is his mother, like in all of these situations. And could I just say about those dream sequences, one in particular that I just adore, which is, and I love Keith Gordon for constantly subverting things. Jerry Renault's character is, let's say, fascinated with this sort of like punker girl who he sees at the bus stop, played by Jenny Wright. And in his dream, we get the sort of typical like high school romance kiss where the camera's spinning around them, and then the camera ends in this like muddy parking lot with his mother's empty hospital bed sitting there. It is so haunting and horrible, and just like sort of I don't know, upends your expectations. Anyway.
Counterpoint to that, the scene where Renault and Janza are talking and the camera's going around them, and I felt like it was a bit much.
Yeah, okay.
It was a lot. I mean,
still a young director. He's not going to make all the perfect choices like that.
I know,
one.
But man, that was just like, you gotta like stop, because at some point it was a little much. I don't know how. I don't know. After he called him the F word the third time, not Kevin Dillon levels. Thankfully,
no, a much more pointed and focused and dramatic use of the word.
I did appreciate that my subtitles that I had on made the word into two words, so it put a space in between the G's, which was nice. I mean,
it's like there was some action involved.
Yeah, they were.
What did he get?
Yeah, exactly. What did he get? But yeah, back to John Glover. The first thing I had ever seen John Glover in was when he played Donald Trump. I mean, Daniel Clamp in Gremlins 2. And
the same year as this, the year later?
Like 2 years after.
Yeah.
But to see him in this, he is the most dastardly bastard character that we've seen this month, Father Malone. But just like in this movie,
if him and Brother Constance from St. Basil's got together, it would be you'd have to stand
fucking
clear.
Nightmare. He is such a nightmare in this movie. That scene where he is tormenting the kid who has all A's.
Bailey.
Oh boy.
Jesus H.
Bailey?
Christ.
You have straight A's. That means you're perfect. Only God is perfect, Bailey. Are you comparing yourself to God? What an asshole. He's Archie in institutional form. All the worse because he's a goddamn man of God.
So he claims.
Yeah.
I mean, what's funny is like this, Father Malone, you've been on every episode this month. So this is the third time we're ostensibly seeing this kind of character.
Yeah.
He's the worst of them all.
The perfect, the evil brother prime, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's not only the writing. The writing is there that this is a real human. We all know this evil son of a bitch. And John Glover's performance is so fantastic. He's so human and so frightened in places. And like you see him like changing emotions like he at one point grabs Archie and throws him up against a wall because he's sort of acting out. And like mid-sentence, you can see that he realizes, oh, wait, this kid can actually fuck me and my whole financial situation. And he's just, calms down. John Glover is spectacular in this movie. I first saw him, by the way, in a movie called 52 Pickup. I don't know if you saw this one, Mike, right? I saw that
in Margaret.
Oh, yeah. I saw it in the theater. And he was the villain and he was menacing Roy Scheider, who was like an idol to me because he killed that shark. And I still loved the villain more than anything. So like 2 years later, I saw him in this. I was like, oh my God, thank God, it's John Glover. I love this guy.
I really got to know him mostly through what Chris mentioned, Gremlins 2, but that sequence in RoboCop 2, it's the commercial for Magnavolt. I think it's the car alarm system that electrocutes the guy, if memory serves.
He's the pitch man in that?
Yeah, and he's so pitch perfect.
Yes. And he was on a Twilight Zone.
I was about to say, is it not serendipitous that the three of us are talking about John Glover, who was in A Small Talent for War? Oh, he's no, we're going. What was the whole thing? Was like they were just going to invade Earth anyways? Isn't that the? Was that the?
No,
whole...
they gave them another. We said the Earth. They showed up and said we're going to destroy you because the warlike your warlike tendencies. And they said, well, no, we can be better. We've achieved peace. And they said, no, we wanted you to be warlike. We wanted you to kill each other. Forget it. You're useless. Goodbye.
Yeah, he's great in that.
Yeah,
but
he's
man,
in everything.
But I mean,
remember him in Scrooged?
Remember, wasn't he like a crazy doctor in one of those horrible Schumacher Batmans?
Yes, he's Dr. Burton, I believe.
Oh,
right?
yes, with the hair and everything.
Yeah, he's in Batman and Robin.
He creates Bane, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think so. Fuck in Gremlins 2, he steals that movie.
God, yes, he does.
Him and Dick Miller steal that movie.
Yeah,
like big time. Like I remember seeing that movie as a kid and just thinking like those were my favorite parts of the movie, where he's like with the fucking electricity gremlin.
It's in the movie.
Wow, stunning. Amazing.
You'd be surprised at how accurate that was.
But I love that movie.
Yeah.
And I love him in that movie. I mean, he makes that movie not way better than it has any right to be, but when anybody watches Gremlins 2 not knowing what that movie is, he is a welcome addition to the madcap bullshit that is that movie.
He's the cherry on top, man.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like the pitch perfect takedown of, who? of all fucking people.
I know, he who shall not be named.
God, which is insane.
Let's just call him Clamp from now on.
Yeah,
let's just Clamp.
Yeah, but the problem is the Clamp character is somewhat redeemable.
And I like him, and it's John Glover, and I can never truly hate him.
Yeah, exactly. And he killed all those gremlins. even the brain gremlin, who ostensibly was doing nothing wrong.
Yeah,
that's true. He's just living his life.
And the sexy gremlin.
Yeah,
but the sexy gremlin was still the sexy gremlin was still alive at the end.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, Mike, get out of here.
A while since I've seen Gremlins 2.
Really?
Yeah.
You'll have to watch it for the.
I know, but
you'll have to watch it for the upcoming Gremlin series that's HBO Max is releasing here in the next 6 months. Or whatever. Yeah, they're releasing some Gremlins. Something.
My God,
what is old is new again.
Joe Dante's not involved, is he?
And they'll just do it all through CGI instead of puppetry this time.
If Howie Mandel's not involved, I don't care.
Yeah. They couldn't get Howie back for that?
They probably did. I mean, all he has to do is make a couple bleep bloops, little meep moops.
Gurgly sounds.
Yeah.
With special appearance by
by Bud Cort in Gremlin.
They should put him in one of those VR suits, those
mocap.
Mocap suits.
Make him mocap like Benedict Cumberbatch for fucking Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
for Gizmo.
We really need you to go for it here, Howie.
All right, Howie, that's enough. Get the suit off of me. I can't stand it. It's so hot.
Oh,
don't touch me.
I gotta get it off myself. Is that low-hanging fruit or just clowning on a guy with agoraphobia?
Yeah, poor guy. Yeah.
I mean, he'll wet his tears with the millions of dollars from Deal or No Deal. All those Deal or No Deal reruns that people just can't get enough of.
Oh my God.
You know what, though? Speaking of actors from the 80s, Father Malone, I have, in the last couple, sitting down to edit this show, realized how much you really dislike John Hughes.
Oh, do I?
Okay.
I don't know that I do.
I don't know if you don't, given the way you've talked about John Hughes the last 3 times.
I like National Lampoon's Vacation. I like Some Kind of Wonderful. That's it. Most of his stuff, I felt as a person that age, I felt kind of insulted at the time that it was just, it felt like John Hughes talking to fucking John Hughes. I'm like, who amongst us is speaking this way? And more infuriating was everyone loving those movies and thinking that they did. Like, you guys aren't this clever. This is a fucking 40-year-old man writing your dialogue here. Anyway, and I don't know, it was just simple and classist and silly and it broke high school down into like cliques that, you know, are there, but kind of reinforced them in a way. I don't know. To me, as depressing and ultimately nihilistic you could view The Chocolate War to be, like, to me, that's a way better high school movie than anything John Hughes did.
Yeah, here.
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up watching those movies pretty much like you, and man, they got real old real quick. And just even back then, I knew they were, and we didn't use this word back in the 80s, it was problematic. I mean, even during that time.
Yeah, man.
But I have to say, there were a lot of things that I loved. I loved Ferris Bueller when I first watched it.
Weird Science, times. I'll say, is a fun movie. You know what I mean? Like, when it was being wacky and not like someone's take on high school, then I can get behind his work. But like when he's trying to dictate what teens are doing and talking about and thinking about and feeling, get the fuck out of here, man. It is in 1962.
And then, looking back at him now, it's just like, what did I ever see in this? It's like all the wrong people get the right rewards. I mean, but again, I knew Ducky, he's kind of a creep. He's supposed to be the fun character, but he's just pretty much a creep. Not that anybody is a nice person in that movie, other than maybe Harry Dean Stanton and Annie Potts.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure that if you look like goth or like you dress in dark clothes, the only way to look beautiful is to dress up in like pink, like lace, and have Molly Ringwald do that for you. Because otherwise, like, how dare you be an individual?
Perfect example, right?
I mean, the Breakfast Club is like
the solution, everybody.
The Breakfast Club is the most saccharine sack of shit. Like, I'm sorry.
Somebody keeps saying like, there's a 4-hour version. People want to see it, and I'm like, are you out of your minds? You want to spend more time with these puerile morons?
I would love to watch release the Hughes cut. You won't, cowards.
Oh God!
Just them riffing for 4 hours with the camera in front of Anthony Michael Hall and Emilio Estevez. God,
get to hear more about the elephant that wouldn't turn the light on. I mean, that's what always gets me about that movie is when they start to get real serious. And I mean, to me, the funniest part of that movie is, "What about you, Dad? Fuck you."
Right? Oh my God. It was so serious all of a sudden.
This is what you get in my house for dropping a can of paint in the garage.
Yeah. Look at this burn on my hand. Oh, you see that? My dad gave that to me. I'm a bad kid. There's violence in the world. Get the fuck out of here, John Hughes. Go back to your suburban nonsense.
I mean, he knew about it. He grew up in the troubled household.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but this was the icon of my generation, just walking with your arm up.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, exactly.
God, it's such
infuriating.
Yeah. Well, but I mean, again, like this movie feels like that counterpoint, like a hard counterpoint.
Ain't it though?
But to be fair, Father Malone, everything this month has been so far. Even a film like If, which I don't know if you've seen, Mike, the Malcolm McDowell film, like that's a pretty hard counterpoint to what John Hughes. I mean, obviously much longer beforehand, but like still kind of like taking people who were making those kinds of movies at the time to task anyways. Because John Hughes's bullshit is not new. It's just it's through the 80s looking glass.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think all the movies that I sort of programmed, are a bit depressing. I think they are just in that way an antidote to the John Hughes movies. But I also think that as nihilistic as any of these movies are, and this one is the most of any of them, it never feels hopeless. It always seems to be characters snatching bits of happiness where they can, which I found very instructive during my high school years. So whereas the Hughes movies were, it was sitcom shit, it was, we're going to have a little trouble and then we're going to have a little fun. We have a little more trouble and then everything's going to be awesome. And that's that lesson over and over and over again. Like, I didn't need it. Nobody needed it.
Will Ferris get home in time to not get in trouble? We'll find out on the next episode of Ferris in the House.
Ferris is the fantasy version of Archie, by the way. I bet he's just as sociopathic and, whatever, right? Like, they're sort of the same character.
I mean,
really.
that's kind of the point that I was getting to, is like, those John Hughes movies are pretty disingenuous. And this movie is also very kind of matter-of-fact nihilistic, if you will, or realistic, or, whatever you want to call it, just being kind of real. That's kind of still what's going on. Like, behind every John Hughes character, they're still being complete terrible assholes. I mean, there's no way around it. Like, there is no way around the reality of those movies. It's just dressed up a lot nicer than this movie is. They're still talking about the same things. The John Hughes movie is just not being honest about it. Just trying to say, well, I mean, still at the end of the day, like, the clicks aren't bad as long as you know your place in them. This movie's like, there is no knowing of your there is no knowing of your place. You don't know what your place is.
And slide in ways you don't even recognize. Like, what's funny is in this movie, I sort of clocked it this time. We get 30 minutes into the movie before Jerry really interacts with any of the characters at all. And that's when he gets his assignment. That's a long time to go in any movie. Like, it's all about, I think you're right, Chris. Ultimately, in this adaptation, we're following Archie's character.
Oh, yeah.
And it's about, like, the destruction Archie sort of wreaks in every direction, including the character of Jerry Renault, who's, I mean, he's our emotional through line because he's the only. I mean, the Goober character, who I haven't even mentioned, is
Goober.
Goober, yeah, I know it's like so
Goober,
but perfect in a way. Goober, but everyone calls him Goober, But there's a fragile human being in this sort of scenario. At least there are characters who are hopeful and nice,
I mean, I like Corey Gunnestad's performance. He's really good.
Mm-hmm.
He evokes, again, people I knew in high school, like that kind of just like the one friend who's like, oh God, I always just disappointed in you, even if you do the right thing, like always disappointed in you. I mean, so he's like, oh God damn it, you idiot, and it's just a God damn it, you idiot, all movie essentially.
Yeah.
I had a friend who had a nervous breakdown in high school who reminded me so much of Goober. Like, there's these little, every once in a while, people who are just like a little too touched for the world, and you put them in an environment like 800 boys.
Yeah.
They're just not going to last, man.
No.
Like, this book, to me, the book and the movie, obviously a movie I saw first, is a better representation of the savagery of sort of like teen boys than Lord of the Flies by leaps and bounds, as far as I'm concerned. Like, this is a truer thing. Like, I know that like Lord of the Flies was an antidote to like some British children's book where like they taught that these kids like were crashed on an island, they would all get together and have adventures, and so Golding wrote this book like, no, they would kill each other, and I think Cormier was sort of piggybacking on that, like, oh well, that's probably not going to happen. But really what high school is, the sort of training for the world, the sort of like horrible, like monetary based system that you're going to get thrown into unwillingly. And like Jenny Wright's character, when Renault finally, or she comes to him really to speak to him, she says, you're basically like a middle-aged man. And it's true. Like, what I thought was funny when I was in high school, everyone kept saying like, once you get out of high school, then it's fine. You don't have to deal with this shit anymore. The big lie is it is high school everywhere all the time. Like, that hierarchy maintains, it's never goes away in every strata of society. And so like hearing her say that, like when I was 15, like, wow, yeah. Like, we're just getting on the fucking bus and going to work and coming home and like, watching TV and doing it again. Like, I don't know.
Selling chocolate, selling those Mother's Day chocolates for $4, double the price of last year.
$4.
$4 for chocolate.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
Like, if somebody said it to me now, it's $4, I'd be like, I don't think so. Like, this is 1988.
Yes.
And I gotta get, Wally Langham, I've never seen an actor eat chocolate so sexily since Johnny Depp ate it in Chocolat. I mean, I think, okay, Can we can we talk about the homo in the room? I just want to ask: Is there a level of homoeroticism throughout this movie? Is my question, or was it just me picking up on it?
Wasn't just you.
Okay, that's what I'm asking. That's what I'm asking, Mike.
I don't think you can get away with it if it's a thoughtful filmmaker dealing with these sort of adolescents. You know,
that chocolate scene is a seduction scene, is it not?
Certainly, it is. It is from Archie's point of view.
Shot as one, showed. Yeah. I mean, you know what I mean. Not to be bombastic, Mike. That caught you off guard with that one, but like it is like there is a lot of. Again, when people talk about Top Gun, it's like, oh my God, so much homoeroticism in that movie. Right. It's like I don't know if they knew what they were doing there, but Keith Gordon knew what he was doing here.
Oh yeah,
it feels 100%. So like I don't know. It's subtly done, but at the same time, the character of Archie is being written in a very, I would say, coded way, but kind of feels like it.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I remember they played a clip from this in the celluloid closet. The documentary, and so yeah, that was what I had seen from this film. Primarily was that. So
was that scene between the two of them?
I believe so. I think it was the chocolate scene. Yeah,
yeah, and you know what? Like, it isn't just you perceiving it. I think it really is baked in because he tells Janza to play that angle later.
Right.
Like when he's calling him a queer, it's because, well, he was was that a seduction? Like Jerry doesn't know. He can't even talk to a girl. Like what? Maybe he was being seduced in that scene.
Right. And again, like I couldn't tell because the character of Janza, he felt like he was possibly like the gay character too. Like I couldn't think again. That's this movie's. I appreciate it does that because again, like it's done more subtly than other movies of the time would have done.
Well, the hold he has over Janza is he took a picture of him masturbating in the bathroom,
and then he's like, I don't even know, do you know? Like I might not even had camera like filming that camera. Like
what's great is we don't know the answer to that in the movie. In the book, it's explicit. He had a camera with no film in it, and he pretended to and knew Janza, but we the audience not knowing it. Is just like Janza's point of view, like, I don't know with you, Archie. You could be lying about everything.
Yeah, that was nice.
So, Mike, I wanted to ask you, since I've asked everybody else this month, of the preparatory school films that you have seen, what are some of your favorites? Doesn't have to be your favorite, but some ones that you might suggest checking out that you're a fan.
Oh gosh.
Other than, Breakfast Club and Pretty in Pink and, all the movies we've already mentioned.
But you're asking specifically about prep school movies?
Yes. Well, prep, I mean,
boarding school,
prep, boarding school, military school. Okay. They're kind of, I mean, again,
private school, let's say.
Yeah.
Right. What was the one with Timothy Hutton?
Oh, Taps.
Oh,
yes. That's a good one too.
Taps. Along those lines, Toy Soldiers, of course.
It's the last movie that we're talking about this month, actually.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, you're in for a treat. I don't I couldn't really ever relate to prep school.
Yeah. I mean, it is a specific kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, I went to more of a high school that was more John Hughes than I probably would care to admit, just because it was not affluent, but it was like, middle class, like what Hughes wanted to be. It was like
the school I yearned to be at, by the way.
Yeah.
Mike was afraid to drop a can of paint, is what he's saying.
Exactly. Yeah.
No! Right. Fuck you, Dad.
Oh, yes.
I mean, I'm with you on like I had the same, like my public schooling was like probably close to yours, Mike. Like it was not like that's the thing. Like this month, Father Malone, like I could never like sympathize with any of this. I'm not expecting you to. It's hard though, because like I feel like if I had been in this situation, I would be like, can I get the fuck out of here, please? Yeah, like, is that a thing? Like, I don't know. Like,
none of you will realize how trapped we all feel.
I can't imagine.
Right. Yeah. And that's the hard thing here is like putting myself in that. Cause like, I know myself now, I'd be like, I'm fucking out of here. Like, when we were talking about that Hitcher episode, who hitchhikes? I'll hitchhike to get away from this place. Like, I'll take my chances with the guy who murders me in his semi. I'm not going to sit at this school and be abused by these fucking assholes.
Oh, yeah. I can't even imagine the amount of abuse. Wow. I was more, like I said, regular high school guy. So I'm more about like My Bodyguard, which we mentioned before, 3 O'clock High,
What a good movie.
The Savage Steve Holland movies. So your not The Sure Thing, that's Rob Reiner. Your Summer, One Crazy Summer, Better Off Dead. More along those lines. But I draw the line when it comes to John Cusack and then the Cameron Crowe stuff. So that Say Anything, that was the one misfire for me.
Oh yeah, that one's rough. Everyone loves that movie, and I was just like, oh, come on, stop it.
Is that the one where he's is that the one where he's creepy outside with the boombox?
That's the one.
Okay. And that's not even the worst part. The worst part for me was like just the movie's going along and it's trying to be like a romantic film, and then all of a sudden, oops, my dad committed fraud against these old people.
Like embezzlement. Like this embezzlement story comes out of nowhere. And I think Cameron Crowe thinks he's overstuffing things. Like, oh, I'm filling it with all this plot. No, dude, we don't care.
Exactly. As soon as it takes that hard right turn, I was just like, this movie is not what I wanted to see
at all.
And I'm 18. I'm not really into a romance movie at the time, but I'm just like, this is wrong. This is not right for this to suddenly happen.
I must not have seen that movie in a very long time. I don't remember any of that.
Nobody remembers that. They just remember him with the box.
Right. I just remember him saying kickboxing sport of the future.
Yeah. Exactly.
How right John Cusack really
Keymaster.
was.
I'm the Keymaster.
Yeah.
God. I must not remember that movie at all. Is that for okay, so as we're coming to the end of this month, what's the worst example of these movies? Is it just like the John Hughes Breakfast Club stuff? Is that kind of the worst example of these like high school movies, just in high school in general, not even prep school stuff, just high school stuff in general? Or John Hughes kind of the most like easy offenders to point out and be like, these are the ones that are kind of the problem?
Well, they're the most pervasive.
Yeah.
Right. They've taken root in pop culture pretty hard.
Yeah, I can point to movies you've never heard of that are terrible high school movies.
Right.
But like they, you would never have heard of them. So the Hughes movies in particular, I don't know. Like I said, there are a few of them that are fine, but like Breakfast Club and fucking what is 16 Candles with it's all third act rapiness. It's so
Revenge of the Nerds, boy. That's a movie that when you watch that, talk about third act rapiness. Jesus. Yeah. Why was that such a thing in the 80s? Like, rape is not funny, guys. Like, no way you cut it. Like, I'm sorry.
And like you said sort of earlier, like we were watching these movies and knowing they were wrong at the time. Like, what's going on here? But it felt like it was okay somehow. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just everyone seems so accepting of it. That's the weird thing. And so, like, as an artifact maybe of the time, it functions well. But those are bad movies about bad people. And the wrong people are getting praise and reward. Ugh, I don't know.
The leads are still terrible, and they're not supposed to be. We're supposed to root for what is it, David Carradine? No, yes, which Carradine? Robert Carradine, yes. And like it's okay because she's into him. It's like no, like this is all wrong. Like this
raping was so good, I can forgive it.
Yeah, like what in the fuck is this? Is just like,
it's Molly Ringwald's boyfriend or want to be boyfriend, and 16 Candles basically giving his drunk girlfriend over to Anthony Michael Hall.
Ooh,
yeah.
Yeah.
The politics of those movies, man. I mean, again, like the Breakfast Club thing about like the, Jennifer Jason Leigh's character is like the easiest one to just like run up the flagpoles. Like, what in the fuck are you guys thinking? But there's so many of them in those movies. Like, I think, look, those movies don't need a reappraisal by people because I think it's obvious what the issues are. But like, I think we can move past them as accurate representations of high school. I
think we definitely have. And I think this movie was one of those sort of opening salvos that like, we're finally talking about high school aged people, like in a popular way. Like, let's do it realistically every once in a while, even as fantastical as this movie is.
Yeah. I mean, just think, this movie used that song from Stranger Things, Father Malone.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Time Machine or something.
When the opening beats of the song started playing at the end of the movie, Kate looked at me and was like, and I was like, uh-huh.
Yeah.
And then she once the movie ended, she looked back at me and you know what she said, Father Malone? I understand why Father Malone is so angry about that song now.
I'm not angry. Oh, no. I wasn't. No. My attitude was and continues to be, I don't care if I have to hear it. I love the song, so I don't have if I have to hear it a million times, I'm okay. And then I watched the sequence that they used it in, and it is a beautiful, perfect use of the song. So I can't be mad at that. And it's making an entire generation of kids go out and buy Kate Bush.
Right.
This is a win across the board for me, as far as I'm concerned, because I was sitting in a theater and this song came on, and yes, I'm bawling. And I walked out of the theater and I went in to, I think it was Strawberries, which is the local record store back in Boston. And I bought the cassette for the Chocolate War soundtrack and nice. Played it on a loop for years. So, yeah.
I mean, because, oh, by the way, the Kate Bush song's not the best song on the soundtrack. It's
not,
one of just the best songs on the soundtrack. Yeah. Soundtrack for this movie is insane. Speaking of Say Anything.
By Yaz. Three songs by Yaz.
And a Peter Gabriel song.
Mm-hmm.
That's better than the one that's in Say Anything by like leaps and bounds.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. In Your Eyes is just okay.
Oh, that's a great song, but like this song is better and it's used better. All the usage of the songs in this movie is fantastic. Even the Yaz song at the beginning of this, the In My Room, which if you just listen to the track, it starts with them sort of like talking in the booth, and another filmmaker would have cut all of that out and just started on the beat with the song, but Keith Gordon lets it play. Like the title of the movie comes and goes before the music starts up in the credits. Like, to me, then, now, whenever, like, it's such a bold move as a filmmaker. I'm still knocked out by it.
And the fact that the song at the end of the movie was supposed to be David Bowie.
Yeah.
It's like, it would have, I will tell you, of all the Bowie songs to use, that would have been the song to use. Obviously, because I think that's probably my favorite Bowie song. I know that might be nailed too much on the head, but it would have totally worked at the end of this movie. I think as well as Running Up That Hill would. I really think so. Because Heroes is just as good of a song for what they're kind of getting at.
Yeah, a little too triumphant. I mean, lyrically, thematically, that is that we're gonna make it for once, and then everything's gonna fall apart. It is, like you said, Chris, a little nail on the head.
It is, but I mean,
yeah, you're right. It works.
It's a question of, do you want to be overt or do you want to be a little bit kind of reserved with it?
And I've got 35 years of that song summing up that movie in my head. So any suggestion you can make, as appropriate as it might be, I'm automatically going to
which I totally. I mean, again, as well used as that song is at the end of the movie, I completely understand why, because it does. The way the movie ends with that song just kind of coming in at the end is it's well done is not even the strong enough term, frankly. Like, every song in this movie is just well used in a way that now I could probably only think of this movie when I think of certain songs now, especially a lot of the Peter Gabriel stuff.
I hope so.
It's pretty tight.
It's a good movie. Not a great movie. I liked it, but it wasn't, But again, I also did. If I had this experience, I would probably feel the same way. Like, that's,
yeah.
Well, and this is what we were talking about, Mike, on the last episode. Like, the movies about my high school experience are coming out now.
Right.
I asked Father Malone this last time, like, where the hell are my movies about high school? It's like, I guess now they're coming out. Like,
now your generation is making them. So now now your generation is feeding it to the younger generation, just like it was fed to us,
What's weird, I think the thing that rings truest to me when it comes to high school movies is Dazed and Confused. And that's 20 years before I graduated, essentially, but yet the pressure and the feeling and that whole, some people graduating, some people are still there, and just all of that, an update of American Graffiti, but just the whole idea of like that last night and all the assholes that are out there, and you just feel for Mitch through the whole thing.
Yeah,
I really that movie just felt so genuine to me.
I agree with you 100%. That's a great high school movie. One of the better ones, as far as I'm concerned. The feeling and the camaraderie that you don't really get from most high school movies, that you actually genuinely care about everyone, even the assholes in your school, and like, this too shall pass. Unless you're in a fucking all boys school.
Does your nihilism deep? Do you have deep rooted nihilistic tendencies? Do you know that?
I dabble in it.
I dabble from time to time,
like watercolors, like a little bit of Nietzsche. What's funny is the thing is, when all of the John Hughes movies and all of the high school movies, ultimately, I can't relate to any of those because there's always a romantic element in it. And I went to an all boys school, and there was none. I mean, there may have been. I mean, right. you know what I mean? But like, as far as like interacting with girls and sort of that level that permeates every kind of high school movie, like we were completely devoid of it. So when a movie comes along like this one, that is not just Up the Academy or, even Heaven Help Us, which I love, but like it
has that unnecessary love interest.
Yeah, it is and it is a romp. You know what I mean? Like this, to me, like I grabbed onto this movie with two hands. You know what I mean? Just it is the most distilled down version of everything else I've seen up until this point this month. Right. All of those movies have elements that are in this that sort of came out of the book, but like this is the perfect distillation of it. Yeah.
Did you? I mean, I'm going to assume yes, but what did you think of the films School Ties and Dead Poet Society?
Yeah, the big two that everyone in my schools were all watching and pretending that those were our lives.
Exactly.
That was the prep school version of the John Hughes movies. That was also like, get the fuck out of here. Are you crazy? This is so devoid of us, you idiots.
Is it like hyper romanticized?
Dead Poet Society in particular. Dead Poet Society replicates the scene from Chocolate War, by the way. With the Brother Leon's speech about you were a part of Nazi Germany here, like Bailey wasn't cheating, you should have stuck up for him. That it gets dramatized in Dead Poet Society, where they're all walking and marching together, and they all start marching in step. And Robin Williams is like, "You march to the beat of your own drummer," but that's all glowed, like a sort of sunset glowing version of life. I rejected Dead Poet Society out of hand when I saw it. I continue to this day, even though I like a lot of the performances in it, and Robin Williams, obviously, and Ethan Hawke. It was fantastic. Can I just share one quick thing? This is just a very personal thing, but when I met Tom Richmond, this was in 1993. He had just come off doing Midnight Clear.
Oh,
and
that's so good.
For the first 2 weeks I was hanging around with Tom, he kept calling me young Ethan because I reminded him of Ethan Hawke. And that made me like pray that Ethan Hawke was a good person.
And you know what? I think he might be, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Yeah.
What, a good person?
I think so.
I think so too. And I'm happy to see that. So I was like, is he making fun of me right now?
Right.
Nobody would tell me.
A Midnight Clear is so good. And that's another one where Keith just elevated that script. It's a great book, but man, what he did to that script, it's fantastic.
I think every one of his adaptations improves in some way on the source material, like so much. The Midnight Clear is a masterpiece. I think that's his best film. Yeah. I would say it's a shame that he's just doing television now, but all of those are great. Like everything he does. I love Keith Gordon. Like as a director, he was always interesting and inventive and experimental. And before that, he's like one of my heroes from Jaws 2. Like,
oh man, I loved him as Arnie Cunningham. I mean, just also his character from Back to School. Just so great.
And he defeated Michael Caine.
Yes.
That's the only thing I've seen him in.
He's great in every single one of those. You know what else he's great in? All That Jazz. As young Bob Fosse's one scene. He's fantastic. Keith Gordon is he should be a national landmark or something.
Yeah.
And he directed 2 episodes of that Wild Palms TV show, which was actually pretty good. So
it was good.
Yeah, Keith.
I liked that at the time, and I was a fan of his at that time. I was,
and like stoked. You said, a ton of Dexter too. Like,
hell yeah.
And not just Dexter, but like the good times of Dexter. The good Dexter's good times, not.
And he gets killed on Dexter. He shows up and gets.
Oh
killed.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot, man. Keith, what a.
We're starting a Keith Gordon podcast.
What a career! What a career to have! Like what a wild, all over the place career.
I haven't seen him act in anything since I Love Trouble, which he fully admits that he used as an excuse to get Mother Night into Nick Nolte's hands.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Again, another, maybe some might disagree, but Mother Night works for me better as a movie than as a book.
It's a fantastic adaptation, and what he does with it is wonderful. Yeah, and anybody who likes Kurt Vonnegut stuff needs to see that.
Never heard of it, but now I'm going to watch it.
Oh, it's so good. It is so good.
And the fact that this is
Keith Gordon.
And the fact that this is his first movie too.
Yeah.
Like, again, like you could do much worse. Like we've seen it.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen Maximum Overdrive. I mean, that's still okay.
There's some people who should not be filmmakers. Keith Gordon is not one of those. He definitely should be a filmmaker.
And he's a good actor too. And that's not necessarily, those things don't always. Right? A twofer? Good at both?
Prick.
Yeah. And he's a nice guy, which is even more insulting,
How dare you work in our industry and not be a complete raging asshole? What?
Right.
God. Oh. Yeah. So, Mike, final thoughts on The Chocolate War.
I'm really glad that I saw it. I'm much more of a better Keith Gordon completist now. So I think I've just got one more thing to see, and of course all the TV, because he's been working so diligently in TV. I haven't seen this last project at all. I didn't even know about it. But it looks pretty cool. It's sci-fi, so I think I'm into that.
What about you, Father Malone?
What about me, as far as my summing up Chocolate War?
Yeah.
It's hard for me to be subjective about the movie. I think it works as a movie overall. I don't think it's a perfect movie, but as a first film, it is spectacular. Like, all the performances are really good. I think it's one of the better adaptations of a book. I'm just going to now start saying its praises. Subjective or not, I don't care. Like, I think it's a great movie. And I'll just sort of reiterate what I said at the beginning, which is even movies that didn't stick to the classic sort of high school formula, very few of them ever alight on the level of depression and loneliness that is embedded in the high school experience. And this movie maybe goes too far in that direction, but to my mind and my experience, this is as closest visual representation of it as you're going to get. So I think it works on multiple levels, personal and sort of cinematically. And I hope that even one person goes out and watches it after hearing that.
I agree. I enjoyed it. It's again, I can't really put myself in those shoes of any of the characters in this movie from where they were, but how they feel is a different story entirely. I can empathize entirely with the feelings of all the characters, more or less, the weirder ones, the ones that were in control, out of control, however you want to perceive it. But to your point, to both of your points, this is an interesting movie. It's a movie worth watching. If you're looking to see what Keith Gordon can do behind the camera, obviously it's his first film, but then everybody in front of the camera too is also fantastic. And you've got John Glover. I mean, everybody involved is great. The soundtrack alone is fantastic. So if this is something you've never seen, you should totally check it out, because ultimately these are experiences that not all of us get to have. And a lot of us, shockingly few of these experiences can even exist anymore. Mm-hmm. So that in and of itself is another reason worth checking this out, because for a lot of us, this is not an experience that many of us can ever have or could have had to begin with. So I think from even that standpoint, it's pretty interesting. But yeah, no, Father Malone, I feel like I understand you just a little bit better.
Unfortunately so, yeah.
But on that note, we'll take a break and we'll play a preview for the final episode of September.
The Regis School for Boys, where the country's best families...
Hey, bring that back here!
...send the world's worst students.
If you're gonna kick me out, kick me out.
I'd make 4 prep schools in 4 years. You're trying for the Guinness Book of Records?
But these boys are in for a real shock.
If you
do not produce my father unharmed, I will begin executing the hostages.
I'm sure by now you have discovered who their parents are.
Chairman of the Armed Services Committee, Vice Chairman of the Republican Party. What does your father do, William?
Contractor.
According to this, he owns the third largest construction company in the world.
Yeah, he's a contractor.
My boys, many of them, they have a real problem with authority.
Are you with me or not?
Of course we're with you.
But if you get a shot, we're gonna be PO'd.
I have an assault force in the staging area 5 minutes away.
I've seen these orange wires. These are wired to explosives.
The kid can get the other students out of line of fire.
If any one of these wires is cut, they will explode!
This kid has been kicked out of 2 schools.
3 schools.
No. That's a detonator.
He's got guts. He's a leader. Billy says he can do it. I gotta believe he can.
That's the signal. You're right. We're really gonna do this? You bet.
Toy soldiers.
So right on the final episode, we're going to be talking about, Mike already mentioned it, Toy Soldiers, a movie that features Samwise Gamgee.
Kicking ass.
I mean, what was he doing in Lord of the Rings? Kicking ass.
Not like this, baby.
I mean, I'm all for it.
He's
Sean Astin.
Aragorn, the Hobbit here.
He can do no wrong as far as I'm concerned. That Sean Astin is just such just seems like the nicest guy. So I'm always happy to see him and stuff, especially in a leading role. And that's not Encino Man. So we'll be joined once again by Father Malone and our good friend, the aforementioned Richard Haddam. So until then, where could people find you, Mike White? What's going on over at the Projection Booth Podcast?
Oh boy. Well, trying to get going here on Checktember, recorded some stuff and have yet to edit it. So hopefully we'll be doing a big old Checktember drop here pretty soon. And then moving into, you guessed it, Shocktober? No, not really. Yes, really. So.
You decided to promote yourself and then stopped halfway.
Yeah.
Smash that like button, Mike. Hit the subscribe button.
I think that Father Malone will be on an episode in Shocktober.
Yes, I've been training my entire life for this podcast. Do you know how many times this week alone I have watched Dawn of the Dead?
Oh, wow.
Different versions.
Yeah.
Three times already this week.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm just getting going, baby.
I'm looking forward to recording.
Prepared.
Yeah. So that's what's happening. Find out more at www.projectionboothpodcast.com.
What about you, Father Malone? Where can people find you if they were looking?
Go over to fathermalone.com. That's a link tree to all of the stuff I do, including Wolf and Raisin, the Banachek video podcast I do, and Dark Destinations, my half-hour radio drama that I write and produce that I'm finishing up an episode, pretty soon, actually. So go over there.
And Night Mr. Walters, a taxi podcast. How dare you?
That's a good one too, man.
Get the co-host on that show with good old HP, who you heard on the last episode of this show.
That's HP's program. I'm just happy to be associated with it.
Yeah. And we're happy to have it. As for me, cstachiw.com, which I just recently edited an episode of Dreams for Sale where I heard you guys go, "Hey, idiot, spell it out," which was like last year at some point, which was so funny. So I will spell it out for you here now because I've been doing it for over a year now. So cstachiw.com. That's my link tree. Go there for all the things that I work on with both of these lovely gentlemen, some 70s TV show, some 80s TV show, and some ranking on bass shit that's just so it spans the decades. It spans the decades and the genres, and it's everything you've ever wanted and more from a ranking on bass show. And you can find it more at cstachiw.com. As for this show, culturecast.com, patreon.com/culturecast. Money. You want to give it, great. If not, iTunes, rate and review the show. Hit that like button, subscribe. Those aren't things that you can do there. Maybe don't give me a bad review or give me a bad review. It might be funny. If you write a funny bad review, then give me a bad review. If you think that's something that you can make funny, I'll read it. Father Malone, Mike, as always, thank you so much for joining me. Father Malone, thank you for sharing a little bit of your brain with us.
Thank you for having me and enduring it.
And we'll catch you on the next episode.